Hello and welcome to my podcast, Courage to Overcome, where I talk about destructive, manipulative people and relationships, and also inspirational and motivational content. So if you like this kind of podcast, please like and subscribe. Now, I've been talking about manipulative tactics of toxic people, especially during the holiday season. Well, Valentine's Day is around the corner and they especially seem to like to intensify their negative behaviour at holidays and special occasions, and not to exclude romantic occasions. So they will attempt to initiate some kind of conflict or trouble, maybe because everyone is happy or their partner is happy, relaxed, and their defences are down. And, they just hate people that are happy. They want people to be unhappy because in themselves they are not happy, and they want people to be as miserable as they are. And because they want that extra bit of attention, or they just want conflict. They, after all, have an emotionally destructive personality. So they will initiate conflict and, trouble, and they want people to know that they're in control and in control of your emotions, and that makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel alive. Whatever the reason may be, it's very upsetting to partners and especially partners, girlfriends, wives, whatever. And if you want to hear more on manipulative behaviour of toxic people, narcissists, check my last 2 posts on gaslighting and projection. Anyway, today I want to talk about deflection. What is deflection? From a toxic point of view, obviously. Deflection is when someone changes the topic of a conversation or discussion to something entirely different. It's so that they can avoid accountability. It normally occurs when people are challenged or confronted for their bad behaviour. They are maybe embarrassed and don't want to discuss it, or, as I said before, they don't want to be held accountable. The deflections, examples of deflections could be, distractions, interruptions, accusing you of something that has happened years ago, or even accusing you of something that you haven't even done. And so the reason to do this is so that you start to defend yourself. And while you're defending yourself to this person, the initial topic of discussion is set aside, as now you are beginning to defend yourself against all these accusations. So they in turn end up dominating and controlling the conversations and discussions. The interruptions and distractions are intended to cause you to lose your train of thought and cause you to be confused and upset and to undermine you. At the end, you are exhausted trying to defend yourself against false accusations or allegations and things that may have happened a long time ago, years ago, and not even relevant to the discussion at all. And basically just taking you off course and not dealing with the issue that you wanted to discuss with them in the first place. And so the toxic person or narcissist has successfully deflected. A typical situation could be, you accuse him of being unfaithful because you've seen flirty messages or sexual pictures and text messages to another person. And so as you are accusing him and asking him, questions about it, because he doesn't want to focus on that and he wants to take your attention away, he will deflect the conversation and start to talk about other things and start to accuse you or make accusations about, your work colleagues that you are probably having an affair with. And, you would be outraged because obviously that's not true. And begin to deny anything, as of course it's untrue, and he knows it. And he'll say things like, you've got his phone number on your phone, and you've been calling him, and and he's saying that, or they're saying that they're convinced something is going on, and you're explaining the situation, and he's not believing and saying he can't trust you anymore. Maybe we need a break, blah, 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 blah. And so now, he's deflected the conversation to completely something else. Another scenario would be confronting or challenging your toxic partner with something they've done, and they interrupt you while you're talking and start to say, oh, you're shouting, that you're always shouting. Why can't you keep your voice down? Do you want everybody to hear what we're talking about? If the children are, in the house, you say, why are you shouting? Do you want the children to hear? Do you want them to know that there's something wrong in our relationship or in a marriage? And you want them to hear? So they start to deflect and start talking about you shouting and raising your voice, and you always do this. And why do you always do this? And then now they're deflecting the conversation. You're not even shouting, you're not even raising your voice, but then they use that kind of to deflect the conversation away from something else. And then another tactic, another distraction, is he will be fidgeting while you're talking. He'll be fidgeting with his phone, or if there's a phone call, he will pick up the phone. If the phone starts ringing, he'll pick up the phone and, oh, this is an important phone call, I really need to take this. And then, he takes the phone call and it takes forever. And then obviously you are just fed up and thinking, where we're sitting down having a discussion, and you would think that because the topic is important for you and them to discuss, and he's not taking it seriously, you decide you don't want to have any conversations with him anymore. And that achieves their purpose, and that's another distraction. Or he needs to go to toilet or do something else. All these are all deflection tactics, So, obviously the reason why they do this is to throw you off guard so you don't focus on the issues. They want to control the narrative. They want to control the conversation. This is what they do and who they are. They have to be in control at all times. They hate being made accountable for their action. It makes them uncomfortable, so they will change the subject and accuse you of something that has been resolved ages ago or something that didn't happen. They will make themselves out to be a victim. They are the perpetual victim. They've studied you really well and know what to press, what presses your buttons and makes you react. And the thing with deflection is that the issue or the topic that you want to discuss is never resolved and it's never solved because of all these deflections. So I guess that if you're in a situation like this and you want to communicate with the narcissist, there are some things that you can use to help you with these deflections. And one of the things that we did in our family was to kind of set boundaries. And what we did, this can really work out in a family situation, especially when the people in the family know, the toxic person, the narcissist, know how they behave already. So this is an issue. This is a thing that we normally did when we wanted to discuss some issues or some difficult issues. We normally did set some boundaries at the beginning of the discussion, or be the beginning of the conversation. So we didn't call them boundaries, obviously. We just called them, ground rules that everybody had to apply to, or everybody had to adhere to, but everybody knew, well, the narcissist didn't know that it was actually particularly because of them that these ground rules were put in place. Everybody else knew that, but he didn't know that. But then he applied to everybody, so it made it inclusive so that nobody would know that it was actually for one particular person. So we called them ground rules to ensure the meeting or the meetings that we would have would go smoothly. But really it was because we wanted to make sure that the toxic person wouldn't dominate or control and deflect. So what we would do was we would say, okay, the ground rules would be no references will be made about past events or things in the past that has happened before, or references about something other than the topic of the meeting. So it was made very clear, the ground rule was made clear that we would only discuss the topic of the meeting and nothing else. And then the topic for discussion would be announced before the meeting so that everybody knew what the topic was. And then what we would do also, we would give, everyone was given the same time limit to discuss, to participate in the meeting. So we would give, like, for example, a 5 minutes to talk, and for each person, and you couldn't go over those 5 minutes. So it was put there so that the narcissist would not begin to dominate the conversation and the discussion and go on and on and on without allowing anybody to talk. And the meeting will be set for 1 hour, no more than that. It will be set for that 1 hour. So it wouldn't be a situation where it will go on and on and on and on and on, because the narcissist would want it to go on and be going round and round in circles. And so that was why we set all those ground rules in place. And this generally did work very, very well, because everybody kept to it, because it was specifically for everybody, and everybody wanted to, everybody made sure that, including the narcissist, made sure that they kept to the ground rules as well, which was quite remarkable, to be honest. So this is what we did when we were having a group meeting, a family meeting, and it was quite successful. And I kind of adopted that as well. When I was having personal meetings with him, I kind of like adapted it to suit myself, or to suit the situation as well. So that's something that, if you are involved with a toxic person. Yeah, so that's it. So I hope this helps anyone going through the same issues. You could also use this tactic to help yourself to overcome that. And also, if you like the content, my content so far, if you like this podcast, if you like this particular episode, please like and subscribe. And I'll meet with you in the next one. Take care and God bless. Bye.